join me in welcoming Dean John Pezzuto. Thank you very much. It's really quite an honor for me to be here today to address you at this commencement and provide a few remarks. And I recall that over the last 9 years, it's taking me 9 years to get to the front row and to the right side of the stage. And since this is a commencement address, I'm supposed to tell you something that's very profound and something that's very philosophical. Sorry, but that's the rules. So I thought today I would quote one of the greatest philosophers of all time, and that would be SpongeBob SquarePants. So in one of his very famous episodes, of which there are many, he sang a song called "The Best Day Ever." And I'd like to sing that for you now. But if I did, you would regret it. So I brought SpongeBob along with me, I hope. Okay, enough of that. So I think it is the best day ever indeed. So as I walked into the stadium today, I saw a very familiar sight, and the sight was a young man in his cap and gown, and the mother and father were there, and the mother was trying to take a photo. So she said to Junior, "Junior, make it look natural and place your arm around your dad." And the dad immediately said, "Why don't we really make it look natural and have him place his hand in my pocket?" So in other words, today, the best day ever is a day for celebration for the graduates and also for everyone who has worked with them and stood by them, and for people like Junior's father who are on their way to financial independence. So I hope that each of you graduates have someone to celebrate with today. It's a very special day. But since, as the Chancellor pointed out, I'm a local boy, if you don't, you can come to my house. And I would, for the sake of survival, point out that my wife is here, sitting with the faculty. Could you please stand and be acknowledged wherever you are? And you agree, right? If anyone needs a family for today, they can come over to our house. I thought you would. So anyhow, I'd like to chat all day, but as Chancellor pointed out subtly about 5 minutes, that my talk should be short. And it shouldn't be too hard. I'm not sure how many of you, for example, know how many words were in Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, one of the most famous addresses of all time. 272 words. And I'm already at 337 words, and I haven't said anything at all. So we'll try to get down to serious business. So as you know, for the past several years, I've had the honor of serving as the founding dean of the College of Pharmacy. And I hope you all agree that we've proven that a college with all the right stuff can be located in Hilo and thrive. And thank you. So based on this idea, the Chancellor asked me to consider my experiences over these years and think if there's any parallel life lessons that I could relate to you, to our graduates, as you go forward. And to be honest, the first thing that came to my mind was a piece called The Paradoxical Commandments, written by a person named Dr. Kent Keith. And Dr. Keith actually was born in Brooklyn, but has roots in Hawaii. He graduated from Roosevelt, and he holds a law degree from UH. So like the classical commandments, the paradoxical commandments have 10, and I'm going to read them to you. People are illogical, unreasonable, and self-centered, but love them anyway. If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you're successful, you'll win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. The good you do today can be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Honesty and frankness make you vulnerable. Be honest and frank anyway. The biggest men and women and the biggest ideas can be shot down by the smallest men and women with the smallest minds. But think big anyway. People favor underdogs, but follow top dogs. Fight for a few underdogs anyway. When you spend years building, what you spend years building can be destroyed overnight. But build anyway. People really need help, but may attack you if you help them. Help people anyway. And finally, give the world the best you have, and you'll get kicked in the teeth. But give the world the best you have anyway. So, I'm not trying to be sarcastic or cynical, but honestly, not in Hawaii in particular, but throughout the country, I found these things to be fairly true. And the real thing I would like to tell you is that perhaps someday you'll find some of these things true too. But what I hope is that you will do good, you will think big, you will help people, and you will give the world the best you have. And so now, if that's not enough to lay on you, I'd also like to mention that, the chances are that if you have a degree embossed with a name like Harvard or Yale or Princeton, that many doors will open very easily. You don't even have to say a word. You don't even have to show up for an interview. But what I'd like to tell you is that I'm sure that the future is in your own hands. In my career, I started in a 3-room elementary school in southern New Jersey, and I was the first in my family to go to graduate school and finish complete graduate school. And based on this, I know and can assure you, you hold the future in your own hands. And there's no doubt whatsoever that the tools you've acquired from UH-Hilo are very high quality tools. So now it's time for you to use those tools. And along the way, you need to continue as a lifelong learner and build a career and build a life that will fulfill your dreams. And so what about these dreams? So people often say anything is possible. I don't believe anything is possible. I'm a scientist. I know there are principles, there are things that happen. Everything is not possible. But many good, important things are possible. And what they usually require is hard work, inspiration, foresight, and focus. And I'm sorry to tell you this, but sometimes to realize your dreams, it may be necessary for you to leave family and to leave home. I can say on a first-hand basis that this can be very difficult and very painful and very costly, but eventually it may be necessary and paramount to go where your work is. My work is in Hawaii. Many people predicted that the College of Pharmacy would fail. Some people seem to still aspire to make it fail. But I can tell you this college will not fail. And I hope you can view this as an example of how you too can be part of something that improves society while at the same time generates pride and self-contentment. So finally, I'm probably past my couple of minutes, but there's no hook around my neck yet. I was recently asked, what will I remember most as I leave Hawaii? Well, to be honest, when I face a blizzard or a snowstorm in Brooklyn, New York, probably I'll remember the weather most often. But beyond that, there's a long list of things that I'll always remember. I'll remember the inaugural class. I'll remember this graduation ceremony, gaining professional accreditation, recruitment, establishing graduate programs, building a first-class research program, all of the trials and tribulations in the permanent building, and then receiving the money for the permanent building, just to mention a few. But probably my most indelible memories will be the people I've met at UH-Hilo, the people I've met in the community, and basically building this college and everything surrounding its creation has really become a part of my soul. So I'm certain that I will never really leave Hilo. So as the days or the years go by, or the minutes go by, I'm pretty sure that you will not remember who delivered this commencement address, let alone what I've said. But there's one thing you probably will remember, and that is this. Congratulations, this is the best day ever.